everybody. So I recently found out that I was pregnant, and in the hopes of documenting this pregnancy and maybe sharing a little bit of my experience with you guys, I am making some pregnancy videos, and this one is going to focus on the early symptoms or signs, or just basically like my life being pregnant from 0 to 4 weeks. And you might see me look down. It's because I have a little notebook where I am just trying to, kind of like a pregnancy diary that I'm trying to keep. So this is where I'm just writing almost every day, figuring out what things are going on. So let's get into it. So one thing I just want to clarify, or just want to be sure that I tell you guys is that I still am a little bit unclear exactly how to measure the weeks, because I did go in for my first OB appointment, and they did an ultrasound, and I was measuring a little bit behind, like I think it was a couple days or so, I think it was maybe 5 days behind where the first day of your last missed period, which is how I feel like a lot of the things on the website and stuff tell you. But my due date is the same as so I'm a little bit confused. So I'm just going off of the weeks of the first day of my last period. That is what I'm going to count as, like week 0 is the first day of my last period. So if these are a little bit wrong, I'm sorry. I'm really new about this. And so one of the things is this pregnancy, to give you a little backstory, definitely was a little bit of a surprise. My husband and I did stop using any forms of birth control for like over a year, but we weren't like trying to get pregnant, like timing things out and whatever, but it was more of like we were starting to get a little bit older. I'm 31 right now, and we decided like the year that I hit 30, because we want a couple of kids, so we were like, okay, if it happens, it happens, great, but we weren't planning on it. So I wasn't like super hyper focused on everything, and then when it happened, it was a surprise. So the first sign that, which I don't know if it's a sign, but it was like I just knew that I was pregnant when I was pregnant. And one of the things is because I think I am pretty in tune with my body just in general, and I just know my body. And so I took the pregnancy test on the day 2 of my missed period, and I knew that I was pregnant because I have never ever gotten to that point. I've only ever been late 1 day, and so never in my entire life have I been late 2 days, unless my period just skipped because of high stress. And I don't know why that just wasn't an option, because during that time we were extremely busy, and there was a lot of stuff going on at work, but that just never occurred to me, which is odd because I have like completely missed periods before, but it was because of stress, and I was under a stressful time, but I just knew in my heart that I was pregnant. And it was interesting because previous times, because I'm a bit of a worrywart, and there have been multiple times ever since I've been married where I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm pregnant. I've taken tons of pregnancy tests before just because I've been just worried. And every single time, if I think I've been pregnant, I have always, like, my first initial reaction is like, I start making a plan on a special way I could tell my husband Eric that we are pregnant. Usually involved going to Disneyland, because we live really close to Disneyland, and then telling him special things. But this one was another thing that did not even occur to me. For the first time, it did not occur to me to try to find a special way I was just a little nervous and a little bit confused. So it did not even like, I didn't even care about telling him in a special way. And I think we had some secret vlogs, and so you guys could see the whole story, and I did not tell him in any sort of cute or fancy way. So that was another different thing. And the night before, like, I took my pregnancy test, so where I was still like just 1 day late, you know, I had stress dreams. Like, I have not had stress dreams in a very long time. I don't know, I don't really exactly remember what they were about, but definite stress dreams for that one. So then we found out we were pregnant. Honestly, like, I was very happy, but I was also like confused, scared, nervous, because I'm such a, like, I generally plan things in my life and all these different things, but that did not last very long, the like being afraid and nervous, and it was just overwhelmed by happiness really soon after that. And this is a symptom that I'm going to tell you guys, but I don't know if it was in my mind or what, or if it actually happened, but I felt almost like a moving bloaty spot. Like, so in my like lower tummy abdominal region, is, it felt like, not the whole thing was bloated, but it felt like specific parts of me were bloated, and it was like moving. I don't know what that could be. I don't know anything. And it maybe lasted for like 3 or 4 days, something like that. Like, it didn't last for very long. And I have no idea what it is, or if it, like, I don't know if it was the baby. I don't know. I don't know if I could explain it, but that is one thing. This. So the tiredness in the 0 to 4 weeks period, the tiredness did happen, but I didn't like have to take naps. I just felt a little bit run down, like, I didn't have exactly my normal energy, so I didn't have to take naps. And like I said, we were at a very busy time with my work. We have a homemade or handmade business where both my husband and I work at home, and so we were very busy, so I was just like pushing through that. Another thing is I was hungry. Oh my gosh, during this time I was so hungry, and specifically I was snacky. I am not a snacky person, like, at all. Like, I never have been. I just am not really big on snacks, but my goodness, I was so hungry. Like, so we went for Chipotle, and like, usually I just get like a bowl and stuff, but it's like, no, I got a burrito, and I was like, I would like extra cheese, extra just everything. I was so hungry, and I just couldn't stop eating. Yeah, so I was really hungry. I wasn't really like particularly craving anything more than normal. Like, I feel like I could crave Chipotle on like a daily basis, you know. But that's like nothing unusual. I could just eat it all the time. But anyway, so I didn't have any particularly craving. That was just like, just give me all the food that I can. And it was odd because if this is your first video, it's so weird because I was on Weight Watchers previous to being pregnant, and I lost like 78 pounds in a year, which my doctor definitely said like helped us. It's one of the reasons why we got pregnant, because I lost weight and then my husband lost 115 pounds. And so it was just weird to go like from, it was just a hard adjustment to try to not fall into bad habits of basically binging when I'm just hungry, when I'm so hungry. So I did try to make smart choices, but yeah, like sometimes I did have like giant Chipotle burrito. Yes. Oh my gosh. I started to get the soreness, the boob soreness. It wasn't super terrible like it would eventually get, which I'll tell you guys later. But it was just like, you know what? They just felt like heavy, you know? They just felt heavy, and anytime taking off a bra, oh my gosh, I was like, ah, you know. So I learned great appreciation for for my bra. And then I started to become a little bit more sensitive to smells. But these are smells I already like dislike, but it was just like I just could not deal with it. So my husband, love him to death, he likes food that I think smells disgusting. Like, I really hate it. He loves blue cheese dressing, and he loves to dip like chicken and everything into it. That was terrible. And then he also, so I specifically remember, so during this time we took a little road trip. We live in Southern California. We drove up to Washington where his family lives so we could tell them in person during this 0 to 4 week period. And he buys these like Ruffle queso chips. And I hate the smell of them in general. But he went into like a gas station and he got them for like a snack. And he opened it and I was like, nope, cannot do that. It was the worst. And so it wasn't like things that don't usually gross me out, but it was like, it was just amplified. And then this last thing that I have to tell you is just a decision that I have decided to make for myself in my life and my pregnancy, is that I decided to address my caffeine issue, because I know that there is some safe amount of caffeine you could have per day while you are pregnant, but I just, for my own personal reason and my personal choices, no judgment if you are doing something different, I just decided that I wanted to work on giving up caffeine altogether. So my big caffeine source, and actually the only drink I generally have besides water, is Diet Coke. And so I switched during this time from regular Diet Coke to caffeine-free Diet Coke. And honestly, I was really surprised that I did not get like caffeine withdrawals. I was shocked because on a normal day I usually have 2 cans of Diet Coke a day, well, before I knew that I was pregnant and stuff like that. And I switched to caffeine-free Diet Coke and I didn't get any headaches, and I still had like a slight energy burst, which 100% obviously was a placebo. But anyway, so that is just a personal decision I made for myself at that time, and it's because I honestly, at some point in time, I would like to be able to fully give up soda and maybe just have it on special occasion, because I know even diet soda probably is not the best for me and my health, pregnant or not. Yeah, so that has been my journey, 0 to 4 weeks pregnant. So excited. Can't wait to meet Lil G, which is what we are calling our baby until we know if it's boy or girl, what our names is and stuff like that. Yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. If you remember any of your early pregnancy symptoms, I would love to hear it. I feel like I have been blessed so far because all these symptoms or signs are things I could deal with, and it didn't greatly affect my everyday life, and I just can't wait to just see what life is like being a pregnant woman. Okay, so thank you guys so much for watching. If you are new, please hit the subscribe button and don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.